Good day and welcome to another episode on Cozy Lifestyle on FHC TV. This is your Cozy Eating Habits segment, and as usual, I am Vicky Nat, your favorite wellness coach. Talking about intentional lifestyle and diet options. It is no longer news that the Queen Elizabeth II just passed on the 8th of September 2022. It is on record that the Queen was very intentional and specific about her lifestyle options and her food intake. It is also interesting to know that the Queen still finds time to walk her dogs, despite how engaged she was. How many world leaders, clergymen, business executives, and even citizens still find time to exercise? All they say is that there is no time. It's all about intentionality, you know. And based on research, all the Queen's meals were homemade and meticulously chosen to meet up her health goals and rigorous busy activities across the globe. How intentional can that be? If the Queen can be that intentional, you too can be intentional. This brings me to one of the most frequently asked questions I often get in my DM on a daily basis. And that question is, what exactly should I be eating? This is a question that I believe we all know the answer subconsciously, because everyone knows the difference between junk food and healthy food. But most people, they want to hear it emphatically from a professional on wellness and nutrition. The funniest thing is that when the absolute truth is being provided, most people may not be willing to take the necessary steps or changes to put them on track on their health and wellness goals. I often hear comments like, something must kill a man. And my question is, do you want that something to be your fault or of your own making? I hope not. What we do not know about food may be killing us slowly but surely. You may have heard it many times that you are what you eat. That is because the food that you eat can affect your physiology and the general internal workings of your body system. When you know the function of every food that goes into your body and the reason you eat what you eat, it makes it easier for you to make healthy choices. Choices that feed your body on a cellular level with the right vitamins, minerals, nutrient-dense food, and living enzymes that our bodies need. It is therefore important to know that cell renewal, cell division, cell rejuvenation, and cell repair is going on in the body all the time. That's why we're still alive. If this process is not going on, then there is no life in the body, or that life is about to come to an end. As the cells die and are being replaced, the new cells formed are totally dependent on the building materials that you have provided for them in the form of food and the drinks ingested. If the materials are nutrient dense, we have a vibrant, healthy body that can resist any kind of disease. On the other hand, if the materials are stripped of their nutrients before consuming them, then the unhealthy cells thrive. Every tissue and organ in the body benefits from the materials that you supply to them. The heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the liver, every other organ, and the entire system as a whole. That is why it's so necessary for you to eat a diet of living foods filled with living enzymes. That is the life force that can nourish the body consistently. Enzymes are the living parts of the food we consume, meaning that overcooking our food can kill all the living enzymes. That is, the life force within the food. When you plant a grain of corn, it grows after some days. But if you pass that same grain through fire before planting it, what happens? It can no longer grow. Why? Because the life force is dead. Totally dead. You cannot plant a seed that has passed through the fire. A research carried out by Dr. Edward Howell, a renowned specialist on enzyme nutrition, he discovered that when food is cooked at temperatures exceeding 118 degrees for 30 minutes or more, almost all the living enzymes in the food have been destroyed. When these raw materials that rebuild our bodies are destroyed, our bodies are forced to scavenge on what is left. In the process, our body begins to degenerate at a very fast rate, which leads to various types of sicknesses, diseases, and autoimmune disorders. Most of these problems may even lead to different types of cancers. Most processed food have literally been cooked to death. In other words, the living enzymes known as the life force within the food have been stripped out completely. Most of the time, these foods are really delicious to our taste buds, but highly detrimental to the internal working system of our body. Over the years, diets have changed drastically from eating mainly whole grain foods, fresh fruits and vegetables, to eating a large amount of cooked meat, dairy, cheese, eggs, processed foods, and refined sugar. As a result, diseases have flourished and the rates have skyrocketed. Dr. Weston Price was a dentist in the 1900s. He discovered that when refined and processed foods were introduced into various cultures, the people's health deteriorated rapidly. He noticed that tooth decay and degenerative diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and cancers were rising at a dangerous and alarming rate. However, when these tribes remained on their native diets, they did not develop these diseases. A group of scientists also, they kept elephants in the zoo and they were feeding them with lots of meat and processed foods. But these elephants lived for only 10 years and died. Whereas the elephants that lived in the white forest lived up to 70 to 80 years. These scientists were worried and they wanted to know why. So they went to study the lives of the elephants in the wild. And they discovered a lot of information that made a huge difference. They discovered that elephants in the wild ate 200 kilograms of grass every single day. And they drank about 70 liters of water every day. They also ate fresh fruits and natural vegetation that are in season. And their lifespan remained 70 to 80 years. These scientists went and replicated the same thing for the elephants in the zoo. And guess what happened? Their lifespan automatically increased to the same as the elephants in the wild. Wow! Isn't that amazing? Does that tell you something about what you put into your body? Think about it. The food that goes into your body should have the following qualities. Number 1, it should be nutrient dense. Number 2, it should be water rich. Number 3, they should be living foods. Number 4, they should contain foods from all the food classes and in their right ratio. 5, they should feed your body on a cellular level. In essence, eat more foods that still have their life force within them. These are raw, natural, organic, fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, and of course, enough water to hydrate the system and keep things moving. The ratio of raw versus cooked food should be 75 to 80% raw and 20 to 25% cooked food. This ratio is doable and quite healthy too. Just make sure the life force within your food is still intact. It makes a whole lot of difference, you know. The secret key to good health is to stay close to nature as much as possible. Considering the age of Queen Elizabeth II and the over-engaging schedule she was involved in, we can categorically state that the Queen lived a long and vibrant life. She was still very much active until the time of her passing. It is also interesting to note that she passed on peacefully. Removing her stress levels, she might have lived a little longer. So we have come to the end of today's episode on healthy eating habits on FHC TV. Do follow us on all our social media handles and we'd like to hear your feedback. Always remember to be intentional about your health and wellness goals. I remain Vicky Nat, your favorite wellness coach. Cheers to a healthy new you. Thank you.